In this video, I do a role play with Caroline Kane and a newer investor named Chinmay. We go through a door-knocking script. At the beginning, Chinmay's a little bit uncomfortable. Caroline and I give him a little bit of advice, encourage him to be himself, try to get away from the script and really understand the framework. That way it doesn't sound so rigid. So listen to this role play, try to take a few nuggets, put it into your own script, your own framework. That way you can make yourself a little bit stronger, get 1% better, and hopefully get a lot more conversions. Enjoy.
Everybody that's on here, Michael Franke is my mentor who taught me about door knocking, pre-foreclosures, and put it into perspective. So I've copied off of Michael. I wanted to spread the good word of Michael to all of you as well. And this is why we do this on Thursdays. So I know how busy you are. We have not been able to connect outside of the few little text messages that we've had. And I appreciate you coming on and taking time away from your business, helping all the students that you're taking on right now and your family. So thanks for carving out this hour with us. I'm excited to get straight into the meat and potatoes. Chinmay, what's going on, dog?
Good. Thank you guys for everything that you guys are doing, putting out all this free content. And I'm hoping to get to that life-changing moment soon and working at it. So I got 2 responses to some text campaigns that I sent out.
Got it, baby.
Nice.
Yeah. And one of them said they were handling it. And I did get a response from him, which I was actually going to run by you, Caroline, and send it to through the deals, but maybe I could ask it here. And then I was hoping
let's hear it.
We can do a role play if there's time.
Let's talk about it. So is it from my data points?
This one is not. This one's local here
Perfect.
to SF.
Okay.
I just found it on auction.com and skip traced it and contacted them. And I have like a text drip campaign going, and after like 5 texts, they responded finally.
But you have reached out to him, and the one thing I really want to highlight, you put him on a drip text campaign, and you had to text him 5 times before he responded. This is not like an instantaneous thing, guys. It's a long play. It's a marathon. So I just wanted to highlight that portion for the new people that are tuning in. All right, Chinmay, so he replied after your 5th time of reaching out. What's going on?
I just reached out. There's actually 8 messages, so.
8 messages. See, there we go. 8 messages. Even that seems more realistic. Okay, so 8 messages later, he says that he wants to talk to you, or what did he say?
Well, they said he responded saying it's all taken care of. And I was like, oh, that's great. Just so I can take your name off our list. What were you able to do to stop the auction, just to get some more information? And then she said, reinstate the loan and paid off the small amount. So I said, that's awesome. Good to hear. If you ever need anything, reach out. Have a great day. And then she responded saying, I'm more interested in loan mods or reworking the terms of the agreement since Raymond passed away. So I'm assuming her husband passed away, and then she's in this situation now. So
perfect.
You called her
right after that, right?
I did call her. She did not pick up, but I texted her again, and I'm going to call her right after this. So this was like in the last 30 minutes.
Perfect. So the biggest thing, I love that you got to do that before our live. The biggest thing I say, always and Michael, you chime in here, but I would say get on the phone with them. You're going to get more information when you're on the phone. Texting works, but I think a conversation on the phone, you can learn a lot more. What would you say would be next steps here, Michael?
It sounds like they might be projecting what they want to happen as opposed to what has happened. So she said, I'm reinstating the loan. She's also talking about a loan modification. Perhaps she wants to do a loan modification afterwards. I don't know why she would want to do that. More than likely, her interest rate is lower than the prevailing rate right now, so it's not going to improve her interest rate. So like Caroline said, it sounds like there's some stuff going on in her mind. She has an idea of what she wants to do, but isn't quite sure. And your job is to just get on the phone and give her some clarity and see if you can be a value add on that.
So I would, same things. Get on the phone. That's your job. I would just find out, hey, so do you have an appointment set to get on the phone?
I don't have an appointment set. I called her and then I texted her saying, are you available for a call today? And I was going to call her after this.
Perfect. One switch, I'm going to be a little nitpicky. Instead of saying, are you available for a call today? I would just rephrase that. When can I call you today? When are you available for a call? And do you know why, Chinmay? I know you're in lots of the sales training calls that I do. Do you know why I say, when are you available for a call instead of, are you available for a call?
Because it kind of puts the onus on them it doesn't give them an option to say no. It kind of gives
It's not a yes or, we want them to continue talking to us. So we don't want it to be a yes or no because then the conversation dies. Exactly right.
I would even take it one step further. say something to the effect of, hey, I have a few minutes for a call around 2 today. Would you be available? That makes it to where you're trying to get that micro commitment, but at the same time, it makes your time seem very valuable. Like, I have a few minutes available. That makes it seem like you're doing a lot of other business. Makes them think, oh, well, I need to jump at the opportunity to take some time. Either one of those works, but you definitely want to get that micro commitment. If you leave it kind of open-ended, that's when they end up ghosting you.
That for my editing later. That was the gold nugget. I'm going to add a chicken nugget on this later so you guys know. That was a gold nugget from Michael Frankie. You want to get those micro commitments.
Yeah.
Okay. So you set that up. So what are you want to do a role play example of how that conversation should go?
Yeah. Because then I got another text saying, after like 10 messages saying, how can you help?
Perfect.
So I was going to call him as well. So I'd love to do a role play just to get.
So you want to be the seller in this situation?
I want to be.
Oh, Michael wants to be the seller. Okay.
Wow.
Are we cold calling? Are we door knocking? What are we doing?
Calling. Yeah.
All right. Okay. You want me to call or you want to call Michael?
I think Chinmay is calling.
Call Michael, Chinmay.
Yeah, sure. I'll call.
All right. Okay. Take it away.
All right. Ring.
Hello.
Hi. This is Chinmay. Am I coming in clear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, Daryl. How's it going?
Doing fine. Just working around the house. Not much going on today.
Good.
What can I do for you? I'm not sure who this is.
Yeah, that's great. My name is Chinmay. We were just texting a little bit earlier, and I'm sure you've heard, and this may be wrong, but it looks like the lender has been giving you some grief, and they filed some paperwork for an auction for your property. And my job is to just settle this and just get this all squared away. And just to be clear, I am not the bank. I don't work with the bank. I work with homeowners to try to stop foreclosures. And it could be totally wrong, but a lot of the times the departments at the banks, they don't really talk to each other. So just wondering if you have like 3 to 5.
Before we get going any further, we need to shorten that.
Gotcha.
Quite a bit. The more succinct you can be, the better. You said the same thing several times. Good stuff. It's just you can compile that into a very short amount of time. So I want you to take it from the beginning of that section and try that again and try to be a little bit shorter with it.
What he just said, I can already tell you're reading off of my script, Chinmay. I love that. Make it your own. So I give you a framework. That's the main. Michael and I are giving you guys a framework. That's mine. I can tell that you're trying to sound like me. Make it sound like Chinmay. Just redo it. Write it out so it's Chinmay. Honestly, this is why I tell everybody to get those poster boards. One for a vision, one for your 1-year plan, and then one for your framework of how you want these calls to go, and have it big and bold because I can already tell you're reading off of it, and I know you're kind of like skimming it and reading it at the same time. Yeah. Get it to where you just like I have redid the video that Michael and I did a role play on. Everybody in my sales team, they have to watch that video of me and Michael doing a role play where I was mean as heck to him, and I want them to memorize it because once you get it memorized, it's easy. So what Michael just said, condensed a little bit. Sure. But after this. Sorry, say it again.
I got my own notes here too. So
there you go. Make it nice and neat though. After this, take 15 minutes to rewrite it after this episode. So go ahead now though.
From the top.
All right. Ring.
Hello.
Hi, this is Chin. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. This is Daryl, right?
Yeah, this is him.
Okay. Hey, Daryl. Sorry to bug you. I just noticed that the lender was giving you some grief, and we were texting a little bit earlier. So I just wanted to call and follow up and see how I could help.
Yeah, they've been giving me a little grief. I got it taken care of, though. We're good.
Oh, that's awesome. Just so I can jot it down and get your name off my list. What can I ask? What you're doing to take care of it?
I've been talking with some family. They're looking to get me the funds to reinstate. I want to keep my home. Awesome. So they're supposed to get me those funds tomorrow, and then I'm going to wire them over the attorney and get this thing taken care of, and we should be good.
Okay, that is awesome. Good to hear. So now, honestly, this is where I would get stuck. I don't know what to say after this. In a situation where they're getting the funds. Okay. Okay, that's awesome. Good to hear. Just in case it doesn't go through and your family's not able to wire your money, would you like to hear some other options on how to stop the foreclosure?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna reinstate the loan. I mean, why would I need other options?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And you're probably right. They probably will reinstate the loan. And honestly, I was hoping it would be a mistake because a lot of the times, the banks don't really even talk to each other. But it looks like you got this taken care of. But if it does come up, I'd love to give you some other options in case it comes back up again, and what other options you can do in case it happens again.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's
What do you
great.
got for me? I'm wanting to go this reinstatement route. I don't know anything about anything else, but
Yeah,
we're here. I have a minute.
that's awesome. Great to hear. And you said you want to keep the house, and that's your goal. So that's also my goal. I'm not here to try to buy your house if you don't want to leave and if you want to keep the house. So we usually suggest 5 options to the homeowners that we work with. The first being reinstate the loan. So that's great. You've already talked to your family, and just wondering, did you have to pull from like your 401k, or were your family members gonna loan you the money?
No, my dad was gonna give it to me.
Okay, that's awesome. That's always good to have some supportive parents. Is he going to be asking to pay back this loan by any chance?
I hope not. He didn't say anything about that, but I don't think so.
Okay, that's great. And then okay, so now that you got okay, so you're reinstating a loan. The next option we usually suggest is doing a loan modification. I'm not sure if you've heard about that before.
Yeah, I've talked to my lender about it. I tried to do that a few months ago. I don't even have a job, so it was a hard pass for them. That's why I started looking into the reinstatement option.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of times when a lot of the homeowners that I work with, when they even start the loan modification process, they think that's over. But it looks like you started it, and the bank has let you know. There's a lot of criteria that they look through and make sure that you can afford this new loan. Um, but it looks like you got some money coming in. So okay, that's great. How about I take your number down and follow up in the next 2-3 weeks to see how it's going? Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3 weeks down the line is okay.
Okay. All right, great. I will follow up.
So you panicked
Yeah.
at the very end because you didn't know where to go, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Completely all right. So in that situation, your goal is to get them to completely lay out their process on getting those reinstatement funds. So it's cool that I have the desire to go talk to my dad. The question should be, hey, have you actually had that conversation with your dad? Has he confirmed that he does in fact have those funds? Does he have them available to where he could send those to you right away? They might say, well, I was actually planning on going to talk to him tomorrow afternoon. Oh, well, perfect. How about this? You go talk to your dad tomorrow afternoon. What time do you think that call will take place? Around 2. Okay. Is it okay if I follow up with you around 3 to see how that call went? Yeah, that would be great. And then give them the homework of doing that. Encourage them to go figure it out. They go talk and have that conversation. You follow up at 3 o'clock the next day. Hey, how did your conversation with your dad go? They'll either say, hey, he got me the money. We're good to go. Awesome. Hey, I'm going to follow up with you here in a couple of days, probably on Wednesday, 2 o'clock. I'll shoot you a text or a call, see how you're doing. Or they might say, man, I talked to my dad. He said he thought he was going to have the money, but the source he was getting it from, it didn't work out. And then all of a sudden you have a new can of worms that you can play with. But don't be afraid to dive deep into each option. Ask several open-ended questions. Get that person talking. But with yours, you're very friendly. It comes across good. But at the same time, you need to understand your product a little bit more. And that just takes practice. Getting on things like this with Caroline and I, or hanging out with various people doing this and practicing, you're going to get more and more comfortable to where this just flows right off the tongue. and you don't have to think. And you could go any different direction with the conversation, and it'll go back to the same place. So we just need to work on with you kind of shortening it up, being more concise, and providing some more well thought out questions to get the truth out of them, if that makes sense. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Caroline.
I think you hit the nail on the head. The biggest thing is slow down. What I do, I tell homeowners, just for example, some training, I'll share my screen on my iPad so you guys can see it. But you can, in that call, mirror and match the homeowner. This is just sales 101, mirror and match. So when I'm giving out information, sometimes I talk really fast because I want to get the point across because I only have an hour inside of our YouTube and I want to make sure that I cover everything so you guys have everything you need in this 1 hour. It's too much.
Yeah.
And I realize I might frazzle people. And also, this is another thing. Like Shino tagged us on our Instagram the other day. She's from Japan. She's like all of 5'1". English is not her first language. And she told me sometimes when she door knocks, she's made $300,000 in total assignments in the last year. She had $65 in her bank account. Started copying off of us. Sometimes when she talks to homeowners, they don't understand her. I didn't understand her one time. And she'll slow down and they give her time and they give her grace because of that. So slow down, and you can even let them know, hey, I'm just taking notes here so that I make sure I don't miss anything. And another thing I like to think of when I'm on the phone with these homeowners, I managed a restaurant when I was younger, and we always had to repeat our order back to somebody to make sure we didn't mess it up. Repeat back what you're hearing because you're going to actively learn. But even in your practices, you practice like you play. So I would just take notes even in your practices so you don't miss anything and regurgitate it back to them. But we talked a lot about reversing today. So when somebody says something, give it back to them just so you can have a better understanding. There was a really good, Creighton did the West Coast for me. And one thing, I can't remember exactly what it was, but basically, when in doubt, check it out. It always pays to be more curious to understand what they're going through. And you can just ask questions, but take notes. And then you can just set another appointment. Hey, that's a good question. You know what? Congratulations. The only thing I would have done different is great. It sounds like you have everything handled. This is how I like to end. Hey, I just want to make sure. Is this your cell phone, Michael? Yes. Okay, awesome. I'm going to shoot you my contact information right now. Save me in your phone and I'll text you, and I'm going to just touch base and make sure that your lawyer has everything handled. The biggest thing when talking to homeowners is confirming they have your information and then following up. They will never reach back out to you. Probably almost never. The only reason these ones reached out to you is because you've texted them 8 times in a row. Do not expect them to contact you. You need to be that squeaky wheel, because the squeaky wheel gets the what, Chinmay?
The grease.
The grease, or in my case, the deal. The squeaky wheel gets the deal. Keep following up so you can get that deal. I think you're doing great, man. More reps. If you need help talking to that homeowner, we're here to help you. This is what I was going to say with the role play. In my one door knocking example, I gave that homeowner 3 stories. I told them about 3 real life examples in my 5 minutes of talking to them. They're short little stories, and they were listening to me. Insert stories. Use our stories. We're here to help you.
Yeah.
You know where you catch us here every Thursday. We're here to help you. You know, we reply back on Instagram and on Facebook. So we got you.
These conversations slow down over time. So you'll listen to the best athletes in any sport. Good old Patrick Mahomes, in my case. The beginning of his career, he'll talk about how fast the game was when you transition from college to NFL. It's like, I can't see my reads. I don't know where people are. I'm panicking. And then you make mistakes, throw interceptions. But over time, as you see it over and over and over, you know the defenses, you know the reads. The game starts slowing down, and you can see where everything's going. It's the same thing with these calls. At first, it's going to seem really fast, and you're going to want to talk fast, and then you make mistakes, and you bobble your words. But over time, it's just like, oh, I see everything. I know how to orchestrate this thing. It's all good. And all that does is it just takes reps. So doing things like this where a bunch of people are watching, it's a great thing to do, because then when you're in front of a seller, it's just them and me. It's no problem. It's nothing to worry about. So if you can have role plays like this, you can beat me, or you can beat Caroline, or anyone that you're practicing with. The seller is going to be much easier because I know what you're trying to do. So I can combat you. They don't know what you're trying to do. So over time, you get better and better. So just keep practicing, and practice makes perfect.
Sweet. Appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.